I'm just starting out my channel, and I really want to vlog and record my presence here on earth on YouTube with a conscience. I want to make friends. I want to create a community of support. So please consider subscribing, and thank you again. Thank you so much for watching. It's almost that time of the season again, guys. And no, I'm not talking about Christmas. But from the perspective of somebody who struggles with both mental health and is a recovering shopping addict, the holiday season, there's just something about it that makes it really difficult to get through. If you feel at all like me and you know that this next week is going to be really difficult for you, please keep on watching. I'm here to talk to you about what we can do to break the cycle of consumerism and hopefully create habits that will help sustain our planet in more efficient ways. My name is Day Friend, and I'm here to explain it all. Today, I'll be getting ready with a full face of products. I'm not going to be talking about the products. Instead, I want to focus on talking solely to you about what we can do to avoid the sales this year. And if you are on a low buy or you don't really have any buying restrictions, hopefully I'll be here to tell you on ways to spend your money more efficiently and in a more smart way. I thought we could get the ball rolling by having myself talk first about my experience with shopping addiction. I started working when I was 16 years old. I worked at a Cold Stone creamery. That was my very first job. I think I used to make $5.25. That was the minimum wage back then, and this was, I don't even want to say how long ago, guys, but it was over a decade ago. And I wanted to work because I wanted to have money, honestly, to like go out and hang with my friends, go to the movies, drink, whatever. I was always a rebellious teenager. Right, so I'm 16, I'm working at a Cold Stone, I'm making $5.25 an hour, and I realized that the money that I was making, my parents didn't really have a say in, what went in, what went out. They didn't really know how much money I was making. They didn't know if I was saving or not. I had a savings account that was just to my name. My parents didn't really have control over it, and I think that kind of unhealthy, no restrictions, no boundaries, no limits relationship with money, especially when you are an adolescent and you are such an impressionable age. I think that was definitely detrimental to my perspective on money and really how important it is to save it as opposed to spend it. Right, so when I was 18, I moved on to college. I moved out of my parents' house and I started working almost full time at a restaurant. I was making more money back then. And again, just spending it on nonsense, makeup, clothes, purses, things that I bought and honest to God never once wore. Had to end up throwing out years later because clothes get mold. Shoes and purses, especially if they are not real leather, they'll break down, they disintegrate. I've thrown out so many things. I would say it's been about 4 years since I made a drastic life change, and decided that I was going to be a lot more mindful about the things that I bought and the money that I spent. But that was not me at 18. So I actually accrued a student loan, over $10,000 student loan. Asked me what I did with that money. I don't really have anything to show for it, and I have been paying that student loan for 5 years now. Ask me how much I've dented it. So definitely, not having supervision, not having control over money, having access to large sums of money, especially as an 18-year-old. Again, first time out in the world, no mom, no dad, no grandparents, no tutors to kind of hold your hand through the process. And of course, the reason that we have to go through this is in order to understand the problem now, you need to be able to identify how the problem started. There are people that shop and spend for different ways. A lot of us just struggle with having an addictive personality. Other people go through abusive relationships, or they might go through the death of a loved one, or they might have an eating disorder and they might feel that certain parts of their life are out of control, and therefore they can control how much they spend and how much they acquire. You can fill that empty void inside of your heart, right? That so many of us struggle filling, and shopping just seems like a quick and easy fix. I would say that the thing that helped me get over my shopping addiction, the most efficient thing was definitely therapy. I did therapy pretty routinely, starting off every week and then every other 2 weeks and then once a month. I did that for 3 years, and addressing the trauma, addressing the hardships, addressing all the problems and all the decisions that I had actively made about money. That really is what helped me begin to break the cycle. Now, I am still a shopping addict. People like us with addictive personalities, we never stop being addicts. We simply go into recovery. And that is something that is really important, not because there is a lack of control, meaning that you shouldn't feel that because you are in recovery and you are not recovered, that you have no agency and that your life is bound to the whims of your addiction. Absolutely not. Recovering just means that you need to remind yourself that your addiction is a habit that you have to act against every single day of your life. And know that there are days in which you are going to fail. God expects you to fail. And He is there to tell you that it is okay. And He is there to hold on to your hand and get you up out of that ground, honey. I did therapy, and after that, I again had kind of fell into another rocky relationship with money. I started working at a high-end product store and started spending basically all of my paycheck. I would just leave it to my employer. That's why I would suggest, if you are a shopping addict, you struggle with an addictive personality, avoid working at retail stores. It just makes it so much more difficult because you get discounts and you're almost expected to be part of, you know, the world of retail, whether that is selling a beauty product, or if you're selling the clothes, if you're selling the brand, right? The stores want you to look a certain way, and it just makes it all the more pressure on you to conform to a cookie cutter mold in society, while also having to spend your salary to look the way that your employer wants you to look. I hope that this makes sense. So we spend all of our salaries trying to conform to this cookie cutter mold of what our employers want us to look like. We're miserable. I was certainly miserable working and continuously being judged by my appearance and what I was wearing and what I was not wearing. And I did not know makeup in the same way that I do now. I know how makeup can help people gain confidence, and I know that a loss of confidence definitely is what pushes us to buy when we feel insecure about ourselves, when we feel that we are not enough, and we have these influencers, we have these people that we're looking up to, we have these companies consistently preying on our insecurities. They know that we're sad. They want us to think that they can fill that sadness, that their products can make us happy, and hook, line, and sinker, we tend to fall for it. I try really hard not to, but it is what it is. Again, we're human. We make flaws, and we are flawed, and we make mistakes. All right, so like me, you want to be strong this year and you want to stay away from the stores, right? So this is what we're going to do. The first thing that you're going to do, friend, is you're going to go into your email inbox and you are going to mute your inbox, or you are going to unsubscribe from any newsletters, any company stores, any company emails that you might be receiving right now. Okay, I want you to go do that. Not yet. Watch my video first, but I definitely want you to unsubscribe. That was probably one of the best decisions that I have made this year. I have a more detailed video that I posted, I believe, on Friday, where I talk about actually reaching VIB and platinum status at Sephora and Ulta, which are two very expensive high-end makeup stores. Some people would be proud and happy that they reached that milestone. I thought it was really embarrassing of me to do that, especially when I am, like when Stefani said, I'm just a girl. This is not my job. I don't do YouTube for a living. I'm not a booty guru. So I really have no need to be spending that much money on beauty products. I've made a more conscientious decision to stay away from stores by, again, not following, not subscribing to their Instagram accounts. They are going to bombard you this week, guys. If you can do like a cleanse, like a low social media or no social media this week, I think that would probably be best for all of us. I'm going to seriously consider that. Take that into consideration as well. It's how I felt about a week and a half ago. I was on Instagram and I'm trying to lose weight and be a little bit more conscientious about my fitness, and Women's Best was having a sale. I ended up spending close to $300. A lot of it will get returned. About 75% of what I bought on this crazy, I need it now kind of thing, 75% of it I'm going to end up returning, and it's going to cost me about $40 in shipping overall. So I ended up, wasting $40 on shipping for something that I didn't need. So here I am, having failed just last week, telling you, friend, it's okay. We're going to stay strong. All right, moving on. Here's the second thing that you can do. If you're really struggling with self-control, why don't you give somebody that you really trust your Amazon Prime password and have them change a password, make a new password for you so that you will have no access to Amazon Prime this week. If you have visas, if you have credit cards that you might be prone to maxing out, why don't you give them to somebody that you trust? Have them store them for you. Or alternatively, do what I did. Lose your credit card someplace in your apartment so that you can't use it. Another thing that you can consider doing, and I've seriously considered it this year, is cutting your credit cards altogether. If you really know that you are struggling and that you do not have the force of will to get through this week without shopping, that might be an option for you. My third piece of advice is don't shop when you are sad. That is when you are most prone to overspending. It's the same. When we are sad, we overeat. When we're sad, we overshop, right? So if you are feeling sad, please don't go into the stores. Please don't open your shopping browsers. Don't open your shopping apps. In fact, uninstall all of your apps altogether from your phone. Do not have any shopping apps on your phone this week. Stay away because, again, friend, they are going to inundate and blow up our phones this week, trying to get us to spend money at their stores, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to be manipulated that way. So we're unsubscribed, we're unfollowed, our Amazon Prime account is blocked, we don't have access to our credit cards, we uninstalled Apple Pay from our smartphones. What do we do now? Especially, what do we do now when shopping is part of our family holiday traditions? Guys, this is such a slippery slope to navigate. Christmas is the season of giving, the season of giving thanks, of giving back to others, and it kind of has become the season of self satisfaction, of treating oneself, and again, of this really unhealthy belief that the money that we spend and the things that we purchase somehow measure our feelings for another person. It is just illogical. It's crazy. But let's say that like me, you are part of a family that really considers holiday shopping like a staple holiday tradition. What do you do? Now, my parents personally never really shopped that much. When I was growing up, I was very spoiled, but once I kind of tapered off middle school, gifts kind of became few and far between. My parents were more interested in spending in experiences and trips for us as a family than to spend it on objects. But my boyfriend's parents, they really love Christmas, guys. They really love the idea of giving back to their loved ones, of spoiling us. And we are unfortunately going holiday shopping this week. I am being held against my own will. So, what the heck can we do when we're inside the store? We're surrounded by the deals. How should we react? Well, you'll react the same way that I reacted last year when I had to go to Black Friday with them and be part of their shopping traditions. I brought a very small, limited amount of cash with me. I brought no credit cards, no debit cards, no Apple Pay, just that small amount of cash money. It really made me so much more conscientious of what I wanted to purchase because one, I knew that I was spending money, and two, I could visually see how much money I had for spending. So budgeting is really going to be crucial to your shopping experience. Again, if you're going because it's part of tradition, or because maybe there are really some things that you actually need. It's okay to shop on Black Friday if you need something. It's not okay if you feel like you deserve that 15th, blazer or something like that. The other thing you can do is go with a support group, guys. If you know that if you work at the mall and you'll be around the holidays and you'll be surrounded by these temptations, take some friends with you, some friends that know your struggles, some friends that will be, critical about your purchases, who will ask you, are you sure you need that? Is that really flattering on you? Not people who will tell you what you feel that you need to hear. I feel like that's always quite beneficial when you're going out shopping during seasons such as this one. I took a quick break. I had some breakfast and some coffee, and I'm back. So let's recap, boys and girls. What did we learn today? Today we learned that it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to struggle sometimes. But what it is important is to remember to value what we have, to know our worth, and to understand that buying and consuming is not going to heal our insecurities. So, 4 things I want you to take home today. 1, unfollow. 2, unsubscribe. 3, sign out. 4, lose your cards. Unfollow social media pages that will be targeting you with ads this week. Unsubscribe from newsletters from companies and stores that want you and need you to spend your hard-earned money on them. Deactivate your Amazon Prime account. Erase your shopping apps. Sign out and give the information to a friend or relative that can help retain access to your accounts. And 4, lose the plastic, girlfriend. Don't take any credit cards with you at all when you shop. Just bring a small amount of cash, budget. Identify which stores have the things that you need to buy this season, not the things that you want to buy, the things that you need. Identify what those are, create a budget for them, and bring that budget in cash. Make sure that you're careful with the money, and again, looking at that money is going to help you visualize what you actually have so that you avoid overspending. Guys, that's going to be it for me today. But before I go, I just want to give a huge shout out and a huge thanks to Christina over at styleapotheca. She is a much larger channel than I am. She's going on 15, almost 16,000 subscribers now. But I really felt identified with her journey. She is also a recovering shopping addict, and I just feel like she did such a wonderful job on this video, a much better job than I did. But I felt really inspired. So Christina, thank you so much. If you ever watch this, thank you so much for opening up about your story and empowering others to come forward and share their own. I hope that I helped one person out there today. Please, please feel free to share your story with me. I am here. You are not alone. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.